Hello everyone. Today I'll be redesigning Jinx to an extent and talking about Arcane, so spoiler warning for the whole Arcane series. Jinx is my favorite character. She is so endearing and her backstory is one of the most interesting in Arcane, leaving many questions unanswered. She is Harlequin-esque. There is no diagnosis besides trauma. You know, her parents dying, then accidentally killing her honorary father, to then have her sister, her last remaining family of any kind, found or not, yell at her and leave her. An absolute betrayal of a lifetime to then be left helpless in the hands of a crime boss who was causing the issues your family was fighting against. Has to be a quote-unquote villain origin story if I've ever heard one. But I wouldn't really consider Jinx a villain. She definitely is framed as such in Season 1, trying to kill Vi, who is a heavy-hitter protagonist. And being the loose cannon she is, it makes her that much more terrifying to other characters. However, us, the audience, can see Jinx as just a terrified girl grasping at every straw to find who will not only love her, but never hurt her like Vi did. She thinks Silco can be that for her, so she tries to help him with his plans, which at the end of the day are a darker gray than Jace, Caitlyn, or Vi. I mean, she's outright killing people to get a power source to kill more people. She's the definition of the term shooting wide. She thinks there will eventually be a number of people she can hurt that will ease her pain. Would you, the viewer watching, or anyone else call her a villain, with her relatively not adjusted emotional maturity, just trying to feel a little better? Some of you listening, and I can understand too, the burn, the constant scream that'll never quit. Like your brain isn't under your control. She sees the world completely differently. Neon bouncing to music, grasping and creating any happiness she can. She scribbles with neon paint and markers on everything she can grab like a kid with crayons. In turn, alerting the viewer to her presence, which was a brilliant touch by the Arcane team, by the way. I was on the edge of my seat every time I saw her paint, because you know she's about to mess some shit up. Her personality and expressions were so fun to watch too. Like her draping herself all over Silco to inject his eye shimmer, and he's so annoyed. Or in Season 2 when she made Sevica that badass arm that has a lottery system attached to the powers. And Sevica was so annoyed but grateful nonetheless while Jinx is just jamming in the background. She always acts like she's jamming to music in her head, which I do too, and it's funny to see. Besides that, her story is also a beautiful example of struggling with identity. Her dichotomy of Jinx and Powder. As Powder, she was told and shown she was too weak and needed to rely on Vi, and when Vi betrayed her, she went the complete opposite direction of the spectrum, so that she would never have to rely on someone again. It's heartbreaking, but in the confrontation near the end of Season 1, where she finally has Vi and Caitlyn in her hands, she decides to make a family dinner, symbolic of all the things she could never have. She asks, "Are we still sisters?" She sees Caitlyn as her replacement, as if Vi could only love and care for one person at a time. She switched on Silco, suspecting his imminent betrayal. Vi, in her eyes, is the only person that could ever love her again, because she was never shown any different. She wants Vi's whole heart, and the only way to make that happen is to get rid of Caitlyn. So she gives her a choice. It could only ever be Vi's choice. She gives her the choice of Cotton or Jinx, begging Vi, pleading. If she chooses to kill Caitlyn, she can have her sister back. She can have Cotton back. But of course, as we see, when she doesn't, Jinx is shaking, her world upturned. Silco, in my opinion, signs his death certificate. "You're my daughter. I'll never forsake you," he says, as it cuts to her eyes knowing that's not true. Caitlyn gets up to attack Jinx, and as Vi is yelling in Jinx's favor, trying to save Jinx from herself, as she restrains Caitlyn, Silco, who just promised to never forsake her, pulls a gun. She immediately shoots him. We will never be certain if it was towards Jinx or Vi. My bet's on Vi, since it was straight to the table, not diagonal where she was. And he then says he would never give her up, and she's perfect. The last bit of her third dad drains from his body, as Jinx reluctantly makes the choice for Vi. Jinx. And as we know, wrongfully deciding within herself that Vi would never love her as she is now. Then, in an act of pure hate for the world that took everything from her, she shoots a bomb at the Capitol building, when we as the audience can see that they were just about to make the world better, a world that Jinx may have thrived in. Now, quick break to talk about the actual drawing in the background. She has so many cool aspects of outfits, I just wanted to put them all together. The character designs themselves were great. As a character designer, if you make the whole character flash, then it just looks busy and you have to stick to a certain color palette, hence why I changed some of these pieces' colors. I'll show on screen the half hoodie thing. The half hoodie thing is from her outfit Echo helped her with at the end of season 2. The official art book shows them making it together. And I honestly think she's Arrow Ace, but if we were to find a ship for her, Echo would be the best choice by far. So that was really fun to see. That outfit in particular also contributed to the makeup and body paint and her pants. Her hair is from the jail scenes when she took out her braids. She was hiding this gorgeous flowy long hair all along and we had no idea. My mom was watching this one scene with me, I'll show it on screen here, where her hair's all like frilled out on the floor. And she's like, oh my god, she's so dramatic. She would have had to individually put every single piece of hair like that. It of course, if she just flew her head back, it would not fall like that in any way, shape, or form. So imagine just emo Jinx throwing an absolute fit for, good reason, but just like emoing out and very gently throwing her hair in that direction. The gloves were kind of an homage to the original League of Legends design. Not much, all of her gloves look similar. I don't know where her arm piece is from, probably baseline Arcane design, which is also where I got the shoes and the shirt. Her original design in Arcane was amazing. I really didn't need to change it, but I just wanted to put together all of my favorite pieces. Anyway, back to season 2. A child named Isha idolizes Jinx because apparently Jinx's last season bombing the counselor building endeavor made her a revolutionary. And Isha just so happens to be running from some bad guys whenever they run into Jinx in the alleyway. She immediately kills all of the assailants, protecting the child, which seems in her character, she would have never really directly killed an innocent child, of course, as you're gonna see whenever I keep explaining. The madness, or whatever was making her so mentally unwell, seemed to have made her disconnect from the actual consequences of her action. She never thought about all of the individual civilians she was hurting, all of the families she was ruining. But she was never a monster, really. But now we're seeing it be shown, the compassion that she seemed to lack, when relatively unknowingly killing thousands with that bomb. She then offers Isha a home, a safe haven. My first watch through, I didn't even catch that. I thought they followed her enough that she reluctantly gave in. But no, she openly offered it. We then see Vi and the enforcers in the shoes she was in last season, attacking her, pursuing her. Yes, for a valid reason, but she now feels like the victim, crying her eyes out, waiting in the rafters. Season 1 Jinx would attack first, questions later. A team of enforcers is practically nothing for her. Yes, Vi is there, but she can make a snarky comment and easily disappear without ever hurting her. There's no reason she's actively hiding here, besides being more scared to kill innocents than season 1. She's changed. Her bombs, especially the ones she gives Isha, are paint bombs now. They don't even kill. A guy was pursuing them, and Isha threw the paint bomb to distract, while she shot because she had to. We see her playing with beetles, helping Isha look like her. She now has someone to hang out with, someone to take care of. She can be the sister Vi failed to be in her eyes. Along with her new reputation, maybe she can even be a new Vander. Her guard is still up, her snarky comments still relentless. Savika is trying to get her to truly become the revolutionary people see her as, and she gets annoyed, saying, "Look at this symbol," about to give her the finger, but she can't, her finger never goes up. Isha was then stolen, and she immediately goes to save them from a crazed mutant Vander. It's Vander, it's her dad, it warms up whenever it looks into her eyes. She then goes to find Vi, taunting her, writing Jinx backward under her cheek, to join forces and go find out how to re-alive Vander. This leads them to Victor's society. Jinx is calmer, nearly a completely different character. Isha tamed her to an extent. She wanted to be better for Isha, and now Vi is hanging out with her and showing her the possibility they could be a family again no matter how much they've changed. Vi is asking her opinion, like she sees her as a human again. Not Powder, not a villain, just her sister. When all of this goodness culminates, and even Caitlyn is on the same side, Ambessa attacks and forces Vander on her side, attacking the entire society, making our girls Vi and Jinx, some of, if not the best fighters there, hesitating. The loving Isha realizes this and sacrifices themselves for Jinx. She's screaming the whole time. That was her kid, the only person who died before they could massively hurt her. Then it cuts to an alternate timeline. Jinx is practically a normal teenage girl, still a genius engineer, but she's happy and dating Echo, which is also heartbreaking to see after a season and a half of her going through pure torture. We then see our Jinx, our timeline, imprisoned, unconsolable after Isha's death. We've never seen her mourn. We can assume she did after her birth parents and Vander, etc. But she had an outlet in the hate she felt. Now she's just close to unresponsive. One bit that really stuck with me is when Caitlyn came to visit her in prison. Hateful, of course, because Jinx killed her mother. Jinx speaks up, giving a speech on how no amount of good they both do can undo what happened. She includes Caitlyn in this, of course, because she has also been on a revenge spree. But she also makes the point to say, I didn't know your mom was there. It probably wouldn't have made a difference, but I didn't know. Completely giving in to Caitlyn, giving her all she and the audience needed to know this whole time. She had no understanding of the effect it'd have on individuals, knowing Isha, knowing what it's like to be a mother/big sister figure. She didn't know at the time she was taking that away from someone else, let alone the vastness. She used to think, well, mine were taken away, so maybe if I take yours away, I'll feel better. But it is like Isha unlocked a level of empathy, and like I referenced before, emotional maturity in her, to fully realize her crimes. Vi comes to save her, and she realizes Vi was there all along. Vi did love her. She said something along the lines of Vi will never leave her. She will never give up on her. The only issue is now Jinx has realized the weight of the terrible things she's done and thinks it'll only weigh down Vi. So she switches places and locks Vi up. As she escapes, leaving Vi in the audience to presume she's going to, death to self. Literally seconds later, before she does, Echo finds her and recruits her to help Piltover in the all-out war that's developed over the season. She even cuts her hair, which hair has always been symbolized to hold memories. Cutting it is often associated with rebirth or new beginnings, which now wanting to repent in any way she can, she agrees to help. She's just bombing the whole town from a blimp, as Jinx would do. However, they see the Ambessified Vander enter the stage. Vi and Jinx know they're the only ones who can fight him, because even red-eyed, he sometimes remembers them. After a grueling battle where they are shown that is not the case anymore, Jinx presumably sacrifices herself for Vi and the whole of Piltover by getting Vander out of the way. The complete opposite of first season's ending. Many people have theorized she's not actually dead due to the way it was shot, which I personally think is true. At this point, Arcane's whole thing is that it won't let people stay dead. But that is all of the information pertinent to our character we have so far. So hope you all had a good time watching me ramble on. Please subscribe, comment, like, whatever you want to do is up to you. And goodbye. Have a good day.